Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello, good morning, welcome back squad, and welcome today to my first ever long road trip day with the AMG GT R. Today, I'm going to be driving home for Christmas. So we're starting out in Frankfurt. I was going to head back to London for Christmas to spend it with my family. So today, that means driving in the car about 750 kilometers, 500 miles, solo effort today from here in Germany back to the UK over the Eurotunnel. I've got a couple of places I'm actually stopping on the way, separate videos that I'm going to be filming, but I want this piece to be about the car and about what it's like when you go on a long journey in quite a hardcore version of a Grand Tourer. Now, I think the car is brilliant. I've talked a lot about it in all of my recent videos. It is loaded up now with plenty of luggage, and it is absolutely filthy. I'll just actually show you quickly around the car and the stuff in the boot before we get started, but there's a long journey ahead. I best jump in and get this journey underway. Up to this point, this car has not been washed once. It's coming up to 2,000 miles on the clock. It's driven in snow, salt, grit, dirt, and lots of grime, and it is caked and very much requiring a proper clean, especially if we come around the back. So I am very much looking forward to actually getting this car completely cleaned up. However, have a little look in the boot. Fully loaded, lots and lots of luggage, and you can actually open up this shelf and use that entire space should you wish. However, we're managing on just a small amount here, and I can keep the parcel shelf cover in situ, which is quite neat. Close it down by the wing, which is always fun. So like I said, it's never up to this point been washed once in its 2 months since I owned it, other than the initial preparation at Topaz, the detailing, and obviously applying PPF to the front areas. However, because of all of this grime on it, I want to make sure it's done carefully when the time comes. However, this is going to be my home for the next 10, 11, 12 hours or so. Not a bad home at all, that's for sure. We can jump in and fire it up really and get it started. Into life we go. So, road trip time. Pick some good songs, and like I said, driving home for Christmas. So a very Merry Christmas to all of you watching. You might even be watching on Christmas Day. If you are, let me know in the comments where you are in the world, guys. Have you gone somewhere for Christmas? Have you headed home to a different place? Always interested to find out. So anyway, let me get this journey started, get on the road, first couple of hours to the first stop, see how it goes. It is looking very damp and dreary as we head out of Frankfurt. It's a bit foggy and gloomy. The road is wet. It's not actually raining, which is nice. I'm just fingers crossed for a journey today that isn't totally exhausting with loads of traffic, because I am shattered. I've had a busy couple of days and I really wouldn't mind some sleep when I get back home. So everything crossed that this one's going to go without a hitch. I've got a while until my first stop, but the autobahns are beckoning. We'll get started, crunch it on, and see what this car's going to be like. Obviously, it's going to do so many miles in the future on these kind of adventures, these long distance road trips. I've got an awful lot planned, but this is really the first test to see what it's like when I get out on the motorways and get travelling internationally. And then one of my favourite things about Frankfurt, you're straight away on the Autobahn. I've literally left home about 4 or 5 minutes ago, and we're on de-restricted motorways. And technically you can go as fast as we like, but obviously car is still warming up. It is wet and greasy even with winter tyres. It's hopefully not going to be too busy heading out of town this early in the morning. Fingers crossed then, it's all going to be clear and clean. It's a pretty clear run on the Autobahn so far, and in fact something that's quite interesting, because of having winter tyres on the car, I've turned on the winter tyre speed limiter. So where we are right now, 240 kilometers an hour, we're actually on a digital electronic limiter to make sure you don't go any faster, because that's all the tyres are rated to. So that works quite efficiently, to be honest. You just sit foot flat on a limiter. You can't go any faster, not because you're restricted by a hill or engine performance. The top speed of this car should be about 300 k's, just a touch over, I guess. But it's a completely clear run. This is delightful. You can see just far enough ahead, but obviously as soon as you get towards cars, start slowing down, do some downshifts, get those crackles. Such a good sound. Just enjoy the car. This is what it's made for. Germany, autobahns, driving properly. I don't think the odds were really in my favour that this journey was going to go by without some of this kind of weather. I've shaved off the most incredible amount of time from my arrival time already, which I guess is down to Waze. I always use Waze because it knows traffic and things, basing on this kind of weather and people not driving with too much haste. However, I think from here it's going to be a little bit more gentle, just because it is raining cats and dogs right now. When I say that, somebody's coming past me. Audi Quattro, eh? I don't have Quattro. I'm going to be safe and sensible today. because this just got nasty. Well, I'm off the Autobahn to head to my first checkpoint, although with this weather, I'm not entirely sure the test drives that were planned for today are going to be happening. We shall find out in videos soon. All I do know is that I'm feeling pretty comfortable and chilled out, to be honest. The sound system here is really quite good. When I got the car, I was a little bit dubious about it, but now I've got used to it. That sound system, however, is epic, so we can deal with that one all day, every day. Anyway, I'm going to pull in, have a little stopgap. I'm about, I think, 4.5, 5 hours from here to the Eurotunnel. So it's a long drive today, but so far so good, all comfortable. This is quickly becoming one ludicrously dirty car. Just have a look back here at the exhaust. You actually have to be really careful cleaning that so you don't scratch anything. But the thing I always like when you do see a car this dirty is how you can see the aero over the car. You can see the lines of the dirt, the track where the wind blows around it, so you can see the way it comes towards the windscreen, which is quite straight, so then it gets pushed around the side. And have a look at the way it comes around here, around the roof, comes around the edges, back towards the middle, down over the window, and of course under the wing at the back, over the arches. But this is pure grime, so let's make sure when we clean it we don't end up scratching paint or anything. It just looks like a car that's been well driven. That's what they're for, right? Okay then, it's time to go, and this weather today is not good. That noise, however, is really good. Right, we can see outside finally. So everything all good and set. I always use my phone for navigation. I know that these cars have built-in nav and everything like that, but it's just easier to use a phone mounted on the windscreen. Then you have all traffic updates, alerts, and everything just works better than otherwise. So let's do a test here. Oh, that said no. No phone signal. That's the problem with doing that. Hopefully I get phone signal just by moving across the car park. Anyway, on the way, heading to the Eurotunnel. I tried to do something clever here, except my phone was still connected as the viewfinder to the camera that you are seeing through. So now I've got data, and we can set where we're going. And off we go. How long is this going to say until we get there? I'll hopefully load up in a second. 4 hours, 47 minutes. That's quite a long time. Anyway, out we head. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. The funny thing is that this actually has the potential today to be really close to making my train, and something that's quite important with the Eurotunnel for a car like this is that you book the wide carriages, basically either where a tall vehicle goes or where a bus goes, that kind of thing, because I think this car is probably genuinely wider than the tracks you can drive down in the regular coaches of the train, so no chance we get in there. And typically from my experience it can be dangerous if you miss your slot, because there aren't so many spaces for later trains, so you really don't want to. Now, looking at the navigation right now, and I'm obviously going to have to fill up once, if not twice, before I get there, I currently have a grand total of 9 minutes to spare. 9 minutes versus my check-in time, which is half an hour before the train time. You can probably get there 5-10 minutes later and still make your train, but this is going to be closer than comfort, really. So let's hope I can shave off some minutes. First fuel stop coming up, then I'll be able to evaluate whether I'm going to be able to make it. This is like mathematic calculations on the go about whether I'm going to reach this train, how fast I'm going to have to go to reach this train, and whether I'm going to be getting to London tonight. I've literally just filled up right before the border. We're now going into the Netherlands, actually. Netherlands first as of now. Tarmac changed colour, that's kind of fun to see. So we go to the Netherlands, then into Belgium, then into France, of course, before getting the crossing. So I filled up, we've got enough to get into England, fuel is fine, I managed to eke it out right up to the border, and it's only about 350 kilometres from here now, until we get onto the Eurotunnel train. Time, though, is an interesting one. I made up a few minutes, but I'm going to have 3 minutes spare at the current time. I get there 3 minutes before the check-in deadline. Yeah, that's comfortable, isn't it? When it's a 3.5 hour journey. Let us hope that there is no traffic or hold up between now and then. No stops for me, no breaks, no more shopping. I bought some drinks and some snacks. No toilet breaks either. Just here to the Eurotunnel. The one thing you'll always get in Belgium, whether you like it or not, is this: a killer traffic jam. I cannot remember ever driving across this country without a standstill traffic jam at some point in time. Normally in Germany you're fine, France you're fine, Spain you're fine, but driving through Belgium every single time. And unfortunately it's currently showing me 2 minutes after the scheduled check-in time. However, that's been going up and down like a yo-yo. I had one point where I was going to be about half an hour late, so goodness knows what's going on. Fingers crossed though, this doesn't take too long. Stop start, efficiency. You know, one thing though about this car on a long journey, I said I'd talk about what it's like on a long road trip, is the lack of anywhere really to put your elbows. Because obviously the car is not designed originally for bucket seats, it means that your bucket seat arms don't really have anywhere to go. You're a bit low for them to be up here, but then, yeah, you're kind of nestled in. So, I mean, you can rest them on the edges of the actual seats. That sort of works. I've been loading up with snacks. There's good storage for drinks and sweets and whatever else you want on the go. And it's not that inefficient. I mean, this tank, since I filled up, it's been 160 kilometers or so, and with the range to empty, I should be able to do about 600 kilometers on one tank, which is huge. Yeah, pretty much that's the story of my life right now, sitting in this traffic jam, stop-start in the V8. Well, I guess there's probably some sort of good reason for this traffic jam, because I think the main road is actually closed, and we're all forced into this exit slip road. Oh dear, let's hope whatever has happened is not too bad. Obviously I'm not going to see it. We will head this way. Here we are then. This is the exit to the Tunnel sous la Manche, the English Channel. Now, it's fair to say that when you have a completely empty road, it's just been deserted, you can make up some time. So I'm actually here about 18 minutes ahead of the check-in deadline, which has taken me quite by surprise. I didn't expect to catch up that much time, but we're arriving here now, which means I'm going to just enjoy some downshift, just to get some final crackles. It's a lot slower through France than it was in Germany, naturally. Ah, yes, that's what we like. I'm hoping this is going to be totally deserted, and I can just go straight through, sail into a train, and make it back to England. Yeah, it's not looking very busy. This is exactly what I was hoping for this evening. So let's find a ticket on the British side. I will be needing to take it on my side. Oh, there's bumps. Those are rough in this car. So waiting for the first one of these two to go. This one's got it. Taking this lane. Here we are. I'm too low, supercar problems, can't really reach. Right, identifying booking. It recognises my number plate, I entered it in advance. Give me my departure time, there we go. Easy. Symbol. Off we go, let's go get on the train. In we go. Always good fun. Sometimes I just wish you could totally boot it down here, set like a inside Eurotunnel train high-speed record. I wonder what it is. I wonder what the fastest anybody has ever driven down here is. Anyway, this is the last formal step as part of the driving home for Christmas. Nearly back towards at least my home country, and then it will be the last final leg, not a fast leg, because driving in the UK is never fast, in towards the centre of London. And bingo, as if by magic, we're driving out the other side into England. So I've not actually been here for, what, 10 days or so? Travelling all over the place, I think, since I was last back home. Just have to remember to drive on the correct side of the road. Speeds are in miles per hour, not kilometres per hour. And all of that jazz. Clock's back an hour. Home we go. It might take a very long time to get back into London, but there are some good tunnels when you get here. Well, I think the best thing in this car is go up to 3rd and then down 2. The Strand is feeling very Christmassy. Lots of Christmas decorations out in London. Well, there is definitely a feeling of Christmas here in London. Going past Trafalgar Square at the moment, there's a nice big Christmas tree right in the middle next to Nelson's Column. I'm going to go through the Admiralty Arch, past Buckingham Palace, a bit of a sightseeing tour, to wrap up the day. I really do like, every time coming back home, getting to drive here, these kind of locations. Up the Mall we go here with Buckingham Palace at the far end. Some cracks under the arch, naturally. Such a cool place. Should we go and knock on the door and see if the Queen is home for some tea? Oh, she does have a rather nice place right here. And that is the end of that one. Off. Woo. I left home, German home, 14 hours ago. So fair to say that's been quite a long drive. This car has about 2,500 miles on it now, which is absolutely awesome. It's getting properly driven. The lights have just turned off, obviously the time it took me to park up, but the GTR is parked next to the Focus RS. You might remember that when the GTR was taken out to Germany, the Focus RS was brought back. Those two are together here in the garage. Get some lights on. I'm now going to use the Focus to lug some stuff around and then sort out cars and all sorts of things. I've got lots of confusing stuff that I need to look after, errands and things. Usual errand vlog coming up very soon. But for now, that's been the drive home, driving home for Christmas. And I've done the whole journey without even listening to that song once, which is perhaps a little bit feeble of me. However, we're here. It is over. This car is absolutely brilliant. If I haven't told you enough times already, just honestly, best car imaginable. To have fun, awesome sound, comfortable for long distance, pretty efficient. It's on for about 400 miles now, 650 kilometers. And I've not been driving gently, and I have been downshifting quite a lot. So not too inefficient. I think a couple more changes potentially to make to it in the future. But good day, good day. I don't actually feel that exhausted, which sometimes after a really long trip you actually can. Anyway, I will stop rambling. Journey over. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas wherever in the world you may be. Do let me know in the comments down below. Really interested to know whether we've got people from every continent around the world. Anyway, I'll wrap this one up for there. Merry Christmas again, guys, and I will see you again very soon. Cheers.